Hello everyone and welcome to today's Microsoft Reactor livestream. Before we begin, a quick reminder about the Reactor Code of Conduct. We are committed to fostering a welcoming, inclusive, and supportive environment. Please let's keep the chat respectful and constructive throughout the session. Today's livestream is the fourth session in our Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric digital series, and I am delighted to introduce our fantastic speakers, Vijita, Jianlei, and Linda. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat throughout today's session. We'll address as many as we can. And don't worry if you miss anything, because the recording will be available on the Reactor YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's give a warm virtual round of applause to our incredible guests. Take it away, Vijita.
Thanks, Isabel. First, thanks everyone for tuning in. My name is Vijita, and I'm a senior designer on the data integration team. Today with me, I have our connectivity experts, Linda and Linda, and together we'll be talking you through delivering the best-in-class connectivity with Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric. Next slide, please. Yes, for today's agenda, first I'll be giving a Data Factory in Fabric overview. Then we'll be talking about connector deep dive, connector extensibility, and lastly, we'll end with the product roadmap. Next slide, please. So, what is Microsoft Fabric? As most of you might know, Microsoft Fabric is the unified data platform for AI transformation. This brings together a unified data foundation that deeply integrates data integration, data engineering, data warehousing, data science, real-time intelligence, and also Power BI. This is all built on top of our AI-powered data lake called OneLake and is governed by Purview. I often like to compare Microsoft Fabric to Microsoft Office. So you probably know Office is like a suite of productivity tools. You have things like Word, PowerPoint, Excel. Now each of these has been designed for a particular task, like building a spreadsheet or writing a document. But all these applications share similar elements like the user experience, how you spell check, how you copy and paste, how you format the text. All of these are shared experiences. Also, the foundational layer, like how you govern those applications in Office and how you store and collaborate on those files, are very similar. So if you compare this with Microsoft Fabric, while Office is the suite of productivity tools, Microsoft Fabric is a suite of analytics tools. Instead of building the spreadsheets or writing documents, you're now integrating your data, building data warehouses, analyzing your data in Power BI, and each tool is optimized for that task while sharing the same common elements like how you connect to the data, how you manage your artifacts in the workspaces, how you move from dev to test to production. So all of these are common elements. Additionally, they also have the same foundational layer of the Fabric platform. And this means you can manage security and compliance centrally. You can store and collaborate on the data. You can also govern the entire platform within this single product. Next slide, please. Our focus for today is going to be on one of the services of Fabric, which is Data Factory. Now, Data Factory in Fabric is actually built on top of the unification of Azure Data Factory, which is our pro data integration capability on Azure, along with Power Query, which is our self-service data preparation capability. And this is embedded inside of Power BI, Excel, Dynamics, and Power Platform. So by bringing these two things together, we created an integrated SaaS platform that offers both low-code and pro-code approaches to data integration. Fabric Data Factory is AI-powered through Copilot, and we also integrate open-source data integration approaches. Next slide, please. Okay, let's see how Data Factory delivers all the major data integration capabilities. First, we can help you get access to data on a big variety of data sources through hundreds of connectors, no matter if it's on-prem, in the cloud, or behind virtual networks and firewalls. And in the next section, we'll be diving deeper into these connectors. Data Factory helps you move your data at petabyte to any destinations. We can help you transform the data with low-code experience powered by Power Query, but at the scale of Fabric compute engines. Data Factory can help you orchestrate your data movement, data transformations, and others together into an end-to-end data integration workflow. And we also have deployment, DevOps, and observability that are already built into Data Factory as part of the complete data management and integration platform. All of this is built on top of our AI-powered OneLake. Next slide, please. So let me introduce and highlight a few of the items that you will see in Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric. When you open up your Data Factory on Fabric, you will see these items. First, you have the data pipeline to help orchestrate your end-to-end data integration flow. Next, you have the Dataflows Gen2, which would help you prep, clean, and transform your data. We also have the copy job to help you move your data easily. And lastly, we also have a mirror database to easily replicate all your existing sources into OneLake. And these are just a few of the items in Fabric that we provide, but also there's a lot more items that can help you with your data integration workflow. Next, let me hand this off to Jianlei, who will tell us a bit more about the connectors and give us a deep dive.
Thank you so much, Vichita. Hello, everyone. This is Jianlei. I'm the product manager for Data Factory Connectors. So next, let me take you to go through, have a deep dive on the Data Factory connectors that we provide in Data Factory. So Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric offers a set of the data sources as a connector or data hosted behind a virtual network or a cloud-based service. The connectors provide reliable and secure integration capabilities. Sources. So next, let me take you a look at the breadth of the connectors that we have today. So in Data Factory, we offer a rich set of the connectivities kind. Over 170 connectors. And ship certified connectors and ship to all the users. Data Factory is right now fully embracing a multi-cloud strategy, which means we provide the integration. For example, we submit to the users eventually move data from any source to any. In addition to that, we such as Snowflake, Databricks, Oracle, etc., effortlessly. And then besides that, users today is able to connect to different data sources for data movement and transformation, workflow, and orchestration. Thus, you can build your data ingestion job. So with these capabilities that's managed and visual. Now let's take a look why we call it the best-in-class connectors in the platform or in the industry. So I'll give you a few double clicks on what you will get from the best-in-class connectors. First of all, of course, is the highly performant connectors that we talked a lot, which by leveraging those connectors, you can actually move your data set in a terabyte level in just a few minutes. And with the cloud scalability, the throughput can be up to gigabyte per second. And in addition to that, which can actually helps you to get the amazing throughput, Data Factory also introduced a few intelligent performance optimization and tuning capabilities, so that you, based upon different factors from your data stores, you can further tune those performance to boost your data ingestion perf. Let me give you a few examples of what are the features or the capabilities that we have with performance. First of all, you can set or you can leverage the parallel data movement settings or capabilities in which you can set, for example, the maximum number of threads within the copy. And then that means the service will use it as a reference to read from your source or to write to your sink in parallel with multiple threads. But eventually the service will apply the optimum value to your data job to optimize your throughput as well as your cost. And then we also offer the configurations called intelligent throughput optimization, which allows you to configure the maximum resources that you expect the service to use, which is a combination between different factors like the memory, the network resources, or the CPUs. But it still helps to optimize further to your with some advanced tunings to your data ingestion job. The other performance tuning features is like staging, which, for example, sometimes it takes a while to perform a hybrid data movement. Means you want to copy from a on-premise data source to a cloud data source over a slow network connection. You can then use the staged copy to compress your data on-premise so that it takes less time to move the data to the cloud. And then you can decompress the data from the staging data store to your destinations. This helps to improve and to minimize your cost from end-to-end perspective for a data movement job. Last but not least is the fast copy capabilities. We allow users today to opt in or Dataflows Gen2 for a few sources, which is to leverage the high scalability from the data movement engine and to move your data quickly through the Dataflows Gen2. And the goal as well as the plan is to expand more data sources to support fast copy. And for the users, you don't even need to be care of when shall I opt in those features, because the service will make the optimal decision for your job ingestion, for your data ingestion. So besides those performance features that I just introduced, we, of course, in the connectors, we have data transformation capabilities. We have actually provide a very rich set of the capabilities for the users to do like the joins, the aggregations, the data cleansing or custom transformations, etc., helps the users to manipulate their data in different stage. Besides those great capabilities, from experience-wise, we also provide and offer the standardized and intuitive way to connect to those data sources through the modern Get Data experience. And then users can manage the data ingestion task from a highly visual, low-code user interface, which will give user even zero learning curve to manage it and to build up their connectivities job. So this is to target the experience is improved and optimized, so that no matter if you are a citizen user or a professional data integrator, you can easily and fast track your data source and connect to those data sources. Last but not least is the Copilot experience. So we are actively introduce more Copilot experiences into our connectors to help you to simplify your data ingestion job. You can right now build up your data ingestion job in a codeless effort with just interacting and tell our Copilot what you want to do and how you want to manage your data or connect to your data. And more than that, the Copilot today also provide you with some guidance or suggestions for different areas, like help you to troubleshoot and help you to self-service so that you can easily find the solutions and to make your life easier. So with that, we are actually will introduce more features within Copilot so to make the connector more intelligent. Okay, next one, I want to talk about the security and reliability for the connectors. So security and the service reliability and the quality are always above everything and are the top of mind in all the connectors. Besides the support, which just mentioned in earlier slides, that you can connect right now through the on-premise data gateway or through the virtual network, the connector itself are also looking for introduce more rich authentication types for the users. For example, we are right now start to introduce the workspace identity to strengthen the authentication process between the data source and the data factory connectors based upon different data source factors, but that's the direction we want to push forward. Besides that, the connectors now support TLS 1.3 protocols for the data stores that already supported. This is to ensure that the service provide more secure and performant communications over the site. And in addition to that, we also have set up a very mature and comprehensive review on the public or internal, and then to protect and provide the most secure. So besides those capabilities in the product itself, we also have set up the standard security guidance, which will follow. We always design the connectors by secure and always introduce the most secure settings and capabilities by default, which will help us to guarantee that we always treat security as the top priority in service. The task is to help the users to prevent interruption from the failure in the middle of to be able to resume or to tolerate a few faults that, okay, take full advantage of those connectors to meet your business needs, especially the data modernization, which Vichita shared a bit earlier, including like the pipeline, the Dataflows Gen2, the copy job, etc. Here, I just want to give a few more examples of the typical scenarios for the users today who use the connectors, but you are not limited to only those scenarios, and you can explore further with all the connectors and its capabilities. Those scenarios which I want to introduce briefly, including, for example, some users or some enterprise want to move terabyte level of data set as is to a bronze area in a data lake, and then to so that they can proceed with further data operations towards those raw data. And also customers will also, for example, do the data migration for a enterprise data warehouse or for an entire data lake from one cloud to the other cloud. Thirdly is the storage backup. The customers can choose to do the backup for their certain of their storage. And the fourth one is like the data cleansing, data wrangling, and data profiling, as well as the transformation for sure, to build up their so as they can build up their reporting to get more insight from the business. But again, those scenarios or those typical data movement jobs is not only for like the data scientist or the data engineer, but also for those business analysts or for anyone who is interested in getting the value from the data set that they have. With that, I would like to, can we have Linda? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jianlei, for the deep dive. So next, I'd like to talk about the connector extensibility. So earlier in the session, we mentioned that Data Factory in Fabric provides hundreds of connectors that you can move data across. Among those, actually, we also provide some generic protocol connectors. So we understand that you may have data sit in the wild in different type of data systems. So besides the connectors that you can see from the connector gallery, for example, in copy activity, in pipe client copy activity in Dataflow or etc., there are some generic protocol connectors that you can also use to reach a wide variety of data sources you may have. For example, you can use ODBC connector along with your own driver to connect to different type of databases. There are also like OData connector and REST or web connectors that you can really connect to different SaaS services that you may have the needs to move data across. So besides this connector, this generic protocol connectors, if you move to the next slides, Data Factory in Fabric also provide the connector SDK, or you may hear about the Power Query SDK, that you can build your connector on top of those on top of the stack that we already provide. So if we can move to the next slide. With the SDK, we have a detailed documentation about how you can leverage it in general. So you can create your own branded connector using our stack, and also you can choose to share the connector with the folks in your org, or you can go ahead to certify the connector so that the connector can be seen by all the customers as well. And also for the certification program, we are making some improvements to further smooth the entire process, so you can easily make your connector really usable across for different customers. So more customers can use your connector to connect to different type of data sources in using Data Factory in Fabric. And if we go to the next slide. Next, I'd also like to share the connector roadmap. So as you may hear from the earlier section, we keep adding different type of data sources, different connectors in the service, and we keep improving the capability that the connector can provide to help you really move data across different data systems. So here, next, I'd like to do a recap of the innovations we did in the past few months, and also I'd like to share the roadmap that you can anticipate in the future. First, this is the North Star actually we are targeting. So for the best connectivity in the service, we really want to make sure that we provide the world's most performant and secure connectivity platform for you to use. So which means that we want to make sure you can move the data from any source to any destination that you may have the requirement. And we want to ensure that the whole process is the most performant, reliable, and secure. And also, we provide the connectors so you can use that in copy, in Dataflow, in different scenarios that you may have. Also, the entire experience is powered by the AI from all the workflow from the authoring, so creating that workflow, and also to monitoring that, to troubleshoot that, all the process will be AI powered. With that in mind, we can go also take a look at the list of the improvements that we have made and also upcoming. So for the recent improvements we added into the data pipeline and Dataflows Gen2, it actually covers various perspectives. And also the items showed here is not the exhaustive list. So we keep making improvements and improve the functionality and also the capabilities as well. So for example, we in the past few months, we add the on-prem data gateway support, so you can easily connect to the data services in your CorpNet or in the VNet. And we also enrich the authentication types, for example, to support the workspace identity auth, which is secretless. So to ease you no longer need to manage the secret with the password. And we add the Iceberg, which is a popular format support in the ADFs Gen2 connector. And also we added a number of new connectors that is available in the Data Factory in Fabric, like native Fabric SQL database, which is a new workload added in the Fabric, and also like Salesforce, MariaDB, Vertica, etc. And also we improve the existing connector as well. For example, for Snowflake, we also support the sovereign cloud domains like China domains, in addition to its global endpoint. So it can reach different endpoints of the provided by Snowflake. For features upcoming, so as usual, we keep adding more capabilities. It also includes a number of new connectors that we are working on, like the Databricks, Impala, Oracle, Spark. Name those the ones that is frequently asked by different customers. And also from the to support different network conditions. In addition to the on-prem data gateway support, we are also adding the support for VNet data gateway. So in that case, you no longer need to manage the infra or manage the VM to install the gateway. So you only need to provide us a virtual network. Then on demand, the compute powering different scenarios will be running in that VNet to ensure the network security. And also, we are adding authentications in Dataflows Gen2 as well for workspace identity. And last but not least, we know that SAP integration is one of the very popular asks from various customers. We hear you. So those SAP connectors are upcoming as well. We are adding those connectors to enhance the SAP data integration provided by Data Factory in Fabric. So this slide listed some of the top items that we are working on, and stay tuned for our future updates. We will definitely broadcast all the different improvements and new features that we added in the service, so you can leverage those for your data integration needs. So thanks for joining the session. We covered the deep dive of the connectivity platform that we provide and some of the security, performance, etc., all the different functionalities that we offer, and we want to make sure that it can serve your data integration need, leveraging our service. And we welcome all the feedbacks, and please share your scenario, your requirement with us. We will definitely keep improving our service. Back to you, Isabel.
Thank you so much, Linda, and thank you, team. It looks like I will reflect it now. If it's SQL DB data, can we run performance on this through MS Fabric also?
Yeah, I'm not sure what perf monitoring you're referring to. So, for example, if you move data from or to SQL database using Data Factory capabilities, like using copy activity, using Dataflows, we do provide some monitoring capabilities for that data integration part. We don't really surface the perf on the SQL side, but hope that helps address this question.
Thank you, Linda, for the insightful answer. And thank you, team, again, Jian Lei and Vichita, for the amazing session. And thank you so much to our viewers for joining us today. Don't worry if you missed any part of this live stream, because the recording will be available on the Reactor YouTube channel. Thank you all once again for joining us. And this live stream has now come to an end. We wish you all a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.